Welcome to Speedy Health Tips. Do you know the signs your body gives you before your heart dies? It's a question that may sound grim, but it's one of the utmost importance. Our bodies have an amazing ability to communicate with us, to give us a heads up when something is about to go wrong. The problem is, we often don't understand the language it's speaking. And when it comes to our heart health, misinterpreting these signals or brushing them off as unimportant can have serious, even deadly consequences. Early detection is a game changer. It's the difference between life and death, between a full recovery and long-term damage. It's the opportunity to intervene before it's too late, to make lifestyle changes, to seek medical help. But to do that, we first need to understand what these signs are. Before we dive into details, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. We need to listen to our bodies to pay attention to the subtle hints it's giving us. So, let's start at the beginning. Let's start with the sign that's often overlooked because it's so common, because it's something we all experience from time to time. Unusual fatigue. We're not talking about the kind of tiredness you feel after a long day or a poor night's sleep. We're talking about a persistent sense of fatigue, a lack of energy that doesn't seem to improve no matter how much you rest. It's a tiredness that's out of proportion to your activity level, one that may even interfere with your daily tasks. This could be your body's way of telling you that your heart is working harder than it should, that it's struggling to pump blood and deliver oxygen to your cells. It's a warning sign that's easy to dismiss, to attribute to stress or a busy schedule. But it's one that you should never ignore. So the next time you feel unusually tired without a clear reason, take a moment. Listen to your body. It might be trying to tell you something important. Keep in mind, being tired after a long day is normal, but persistent fatigue could mean your heart is working harder than it should. Moving on to number 9, we have unexplained aches and pains. Now, this might surprise some of you. When we think of heart trouble, we often picture chest pain, but that's not the whole story. You see, discomfort can show up in other parts of the body. The neck, jaw, or back, for instance, might send out distress signals. This pain can be another way your body tries to alert you that your heart is under strain. Importantly, this discomfort is a bit of a chameleon. It can come and go. It might be sharp one moment and dull the next. It could be constant, or it could pop up now and again. And here's the real kicker. These pains don't always coincide with physical activity. You could be sitting down, relaxing, and then out of the blue, there's that twinge again. Remember, these pains don't necessarily happen during physical activity and can occur at rest. At number 8, we have an unexpected symptom. Indigestion. Yes, you heard it right. It's not always about the spicy food you ate last night. Persistent indigestion or nausea can be your heart waving a red flag. It's your body's way of saying, hey, something's not right here. This can often be mistaken for other ailments, which is why it's dubbed as a hidden sign. This discomfort in your stomach could be a sign of heart disease, especially if it's accompanied by other symptoms like shortness of breath, fatigue, or chest pain. It's a warning signal that your heart might be working a tad bit too hard. Remember, your body is a complex, intelligent system that communicates in subtle ways. Always listen to your body. If you frequently feel nauseated or have indigestion, it's worth discussing with your doctor. Number 7 might surprise you. Persistent coughing. When you think of heart failure, coughing probably isn't the first symptom that comes to mind. But it's one of those silent killers that can sneak up on you. A persistent cough or wheezing that produces a white or pink mucus could be a sign that your heart isn't pumping as well as it should be. This is because when the heart can't keep up with the body's demands, it may cause blood to leak back into the lungs. This spillage can lead to a persistent cough or a wheezing sound when you breathe. It's not that every cough is a sign of heart failure, but if it's persistent, and particularly if it produces a white or pink mucus, it's something you should take note of. Coughing might seem harmless, but if it's persistent and produces a certain kind of mucus, it's time to pay attention. At number 6, we have a symptom that's easy to miss: swelling in legs, ankles, and feet. This might seem like a minor inconvenience or even just a sign of being on your feet too much. However, this swelling, known as edema, can be a subtle clue that your heart isn't pumping blood as efficiently as it should be. When the heart isn't performing at its best, it struggles to push blood back up from the lower extremities. As a result, fluid can build up in the tissues of the legs, ankles, and feet. This fluid accumulation leads to the noticeable swelling. But here's the kicker. Edema can be a sign of a number of health issues, not just heart disease. This is what makes it such a subtle clue. It's not a definitive sign, but it's a sign nonetheless. While this sign might be easy to ignore, it's crucial not to overlook it. Number 5 brings us to another often overlooked sign: irregular heartbeat. Now, the heart is a precise machine. It beats steadily, pumping blood throughout your body. But what happens when that rhythm goes off beat? It's like a drummer missing a beat in a band. The whole harmony is disrupted. When your heart rhythm becomes irregular, especially if it's accompanied by shortness of breath or dizziness, it's a sign that something's not right. This irregularity might be an early sign of heart disease. It's like an SOS signal your body sends out, a cry for help. It's your body's way of saying, hey, I need some attention here. And it's crucial that we pay heed to these signals. We need to listen to our bodies and take action. Your heart rhythm should typically be regular, so if it's not, it's time to take notice. At number 4, we have a sign that's not so obvious: sudden dizziness or fainting. Now, we've all had those moments where we stand up too quickly and the world seems to spin. But it's when this becomes a frequent occurrence, especially when paired with shortness of breath, that we need to pay attention. You see, this could be your heart trying to communicate with you. It might not be getting enough blood, and as a result, not enough oxygen is reaching your brain, causing you to feel dizzy or even faint. Now, this doesn't mean you should panic every time you feel a little lightheaded. But if you notice it happening more often than not, especially if it's coupled with shortness of breath, it's a sign that shouldn't be ignored. Remember, your heart is a vital organ, and it's vital to listen to it. If you're frequently feeling lightheaded or faint, it's time to consult your doctor. Number 3 on the list is a symptom that should set off alarm bells: chest discomfort. Now, when we say chest discomfort, we're not talking about the occasional twinge. This isn't the mild discomfort that comes from overeating or a stressful day. No, this is persistent discomfort centered in the heart of your chest. It may last for more than just a few minutes. It might even disappear, only to return again. This isn't just an alarm bell. It's a siren screaming out for attention. This discomfort could feel like uncomfortable pressure, squeezing, fullness, or even pain. It's not just a sign of possible heart disease, it could signal a heart attack. This isn't a symptom to be shrugged off or dismissed. You might think it's just indigestion, but it could be something far more serious. Chest discomfort should never be ignored. If you experience this, seek medical attention immediately. At number 2, we have a red flag that's hard to ignore: shortness of breath. This isn't your typical out-of-puff sensation after a brisk walk or a quick run. We're talking about a breathlessness that comes on even when you're at rest or exerting very little. It's like you've run a marathon without moving an inch. This can be a sign that your heart isn't pumping blood as well as it should be. When the heart can't keep up with the body's demands, it may struggle to deliver enough oxygen to your muscles and tissues. This can cause you to feel short of breath. And it's not just about exertion. If you're experiencing shortness of breath when lying down, this could be a sign of heart failure. This is known as orthopnea, and it happens because fluid backs up into the lungs when the heart isn't functioning properly. If you're finding it hard to catch your breath, it's crucial to get checked out. And finally, at number 1, we have the most critical sign: sudden, severe weakness. This isn't your everyday tiredness or fatigue, no. This is a sudden, overwhelming weakness that may strike without warning. It can be so severe that it leaves you unable to move a muscle. This alarming symptom often indicates a serious cardiovascular event, like a heart attack or stroke. You may notice this weakness predominantly on one side of your body. It's your body's way of sending out a distress signal, a final warning of sorts, telling you that something is seriously wrong. If you or someone else experiences this sudden, severe weakness, it's not the time to hesitate or second guess. This is the most critical sign, and it requires immediate medical attention. So, if this happens, make sure you call for medical help immediately. Your quick response could mean the difference between life and death. Until next time, take care.